It's a Super Tuesday, but today there will be no revision. Yeah, no revision. Because today I have a trade live session going on. Wait a minute. Let me see. Can I put it in 2 o'clock, 2 to 3 o'clock? Yeah, I think I will do it later. Okay, sorry, I apologize on that. I think I can start it in. We will have our Super Tuesday segment later on at 2 p.m. Right, at 2 p.m. we will have our Super Tuesday session. Yep. Okay, I'll update you guys through the announcement group shortly. Okay. Now, you can see that from today's picture diagram, you can see that Elon Musk is in the limelight once again because we have a Tesla new factory is going to be ready, and that's why Tesla share went up by 7.4% last night. And of course, we have seen people in in Ukraine now, and Russia too at the same time, all right, all queuing up at the ATM, right, to draw as much money as possible because they fear that the bank will run out of money because of all these sanctions going on and with the SWIFT transaction and stuff like that. And World Cup, oh my God, Russia is out of World Cup, okay, without even playing. So apparently FIFA came in and said that they are going to make sure they're going to remove Russia from the World Cup because of the current issue right now. So it seems that this sanction is not going to be just only about financial, it's across the board. And of course, I think Singapore has also made the step to sanction on the Russia products too. So it seems like the whole world is going against Russia right now. It's kind of interesting though in this whole thing here. All right, so nonetheless, is the worst over or just the beginning? Come guys, there are about 28 of you today right now. Would you want to tell me, in your opinion, do you think the worst is over or that's just the beginning? Give your answer right now. I want to see your answer. Come on guys. Show me that you have something to share with me, guys. Let me know what's your view on the market right now. Yep. Okay. I'll wait for your reply. Yeah. Okay, Brian, it's the beginning. Ray Young, just the beginning. More things to come. Beginning is coming. Okay, just the beginning, I think, Jason and Anthony. All right, anybody else? What's your view? Let me hear you out, guys. Okay. Anything else, anybody? Okay, is that all or just okay? Karine, you always stay on the sideline. Always have a question mark over there. Or what's the question? You're asking me. All right. Nonetheless, it's all right. In my own opinion, it's all right. This is just the beginning. Now, why do I say that? Not because I'm bearish, no, I'm in a short position, but because we all know that just a couple of weeks ago, before the war happened, the market was actually looking at the US Federal Reserve, okay, to really come in with the rate hikes, okay? And the market was coming off because the earnings was good for last quarter, but apparently the forecast, okay, ain't that fantastic. And the market was coming down, nothing to do with the war. Then suddenly all the attention changed over to Ukraine and Russia. And immediately it's all right, the market of course got into some turmoil, but we also see the equivalent strength on the market from the bottom. So the question is this, can the bull continue or do the bull have the strength to continue this? We'll look at it from a technical point of view and a fundamental point of view shortly in this MAO, all right? Disclaimer apply as usual, my friends. My job is to make sure that I share with you my personal take. Your job is to listen and do your final decision. Now, do note once again, I do share bullish stuff. I do share things to buy. I do tell you to buy. So end of the day is that you perceive what you hear, okay? End of the day, I can, all my MAOs are all recorded on Facebook in a way, so there's no way I can go around it or mince my word or even try to whistle it out, okay? So when you are looking at whatever I share, please be objective. If I am implying to you certain thing is all right, anything that you're not comfortable with, example, I'm telling you now that there might be more selling in coming March and April, which I've been repeating myself. If you disagree on that, no worries, then you stay on the long side in the market. But I do know, I did say that the market will rebound since last Thursday, and it did really happen. Thursday, Friday, the market really rebound. And because the KFC was on Friday, it was even more certain that there'll be a big movement on Friday. So all these are coming on board. So if you were to listen to me, don't be swayed by whatever I mentioned. End of the day, you make your final decision. And for me, it's all I'm coming with hard facts and figures. And of course, end of the day, you make your own final decision. Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, let's start with the day first with the joke of the day. This is a new internet joke that's going viral right now. I saw this a couple of days ago. I want to share this again. So you can see that this is actually a scene from the Lord of the Rings, right? Okay, so we can see the Hobbit. All right, I will do it. Okay, I will face Russia. Okay, and of course, America saying that you have my sword. Then UK say you can have my bow, and of course the EU says that you have my axe. So in short, it's all right. Everybody just sent him out to go to war with Russia. Although they did provide him with a lot of this weaponry, but end of the day is this: what's the chance of winning? All right. Of course, in the story, even for the movie itself, Lord of the Rings, it was not that simple. Yeah. Now, this is just a joke, so don't need to be so serious. But of course, just be careful here. This is something that I want to share with you. Now, you can see that nowadays there's a lot of nonsense fakes in the market. Yeah. So example like this, okay, this one shows that, whoa, aeroplane actually flying, on shelling, Ukraine, but actually itself, right, it's actually a video or rehearsal of the victory parade in Moscow in 2020. So you see, there's a lot of things that on internet itself, people actually use it in a very, very negative way, very, very nasty way, a malicious way, and do things. All right. So be very careful what you read and what you watch. Okay. You may not know the actual truth behind it. And a lot of people are now manipulating the videos to get their likes on TikToks and stuff like that. So please be very careful. Yeah. Okay. Now, of course, to me, the real joke of the day today is definitely liquidity. Now, you must understand. Okay, I put it very simple manner. Okay. Example is that your parents give you ang pao from when you are young until you become an adult, right? Okay. So think about this. If your dad has been giving you ang pao for your last 20, 30 years in your life, now suddenly your dad stop it. Okay, to stop giving me ang pao for my Chinese New Year is still all right. But now your dad tell you, say, nope, I want you to give back the ang pao that I gave it to you before. That means that your dad is now telling you, whatever ang pao that I gave you, you must give it back. Now, this is where the pain comes in. You understand? So now everybody is waiting for the liquidity from Federal Reserve. But Federal Reserve have been very clear that they're not going to give any more money, which is starting from this month right now, 1st of March. They're not going to give any more money. And in fact itself, right, they're going to take back some money to knock off something from the balance sheet. So all these things will have its impact to the market. Now, I know that, again, and I repeat myself again, all right, I know that some trainers are calling for buy, some individuals, gurus are calling for buy. I understand where they're coming from because from the chart view itself, it looks perfect. From a technical point of view, it looks a bottom up. From what I will consider as experience talk itself, right, the market looks good for buy. But just be mindful that, right, when you suddenly off the tap, there will be an impact. And that impact itself, in my opinion, hasn't been felt yet. So which means that, right, if there's going to be any more problem coming up, which especially is earnings. Now, earnings are going to be the main driver for March and April, because you must understand how it works. April will be the time they report the coming season, right? April. So which means that, right, March, more or less, the fund managers, the institutionals, will roughly know what happened in January and February. So if by mid-March, I repeat, mid-March, 16th of March, whereby the FOMC meeting comes in, and it's going to be very clear if they're going to do a rate hike. Now, be it 25 basis point or 50 basis point, be it, all right, the market will feel it. Then, of course, if the earnings is not able to come in, then we have a problem. And the market will not wait until the earnings to come in, then they will make reaction. That's too late. So what they'll do is this, they'll come in early, okay? They'll come in much early. They will have to do some profit taking, all right, right before the April's results. So that's my point here. If March itself, you see the stocks are coming off bit by bit, that is actually a very important warning sign to be very careful. And of course, if by April, when the data are coming out, and if the data are really bad, then of course, one leads to the other, there will be selling. Now, when will it bottom out, right? Well, it depends on how steep the selling will be. If the selling is steep enough, you may even see a bottom out by April. But of course, if the selling needs to have some time, because there's so many companies giving out their results, okay, of course, one whole month period, then maybe by May, we will see the bottom out. Now, if you think that I make some sense with whatever I just explained, all right, key the word make sense. All right, if you think that whatever I just said make any sense, just key the word make sense. Now, if you think that I don't make sense and you have another opinion, please key your answer right now so that we can actually take a read on that and we can actually discuss on this if let's say it has this reason to discuss. Yeah, okay. Then if the market actually bottom out by May, would that be a great time to buy? Yes, indeed, in my opinion, it will be a great time to buy. It will be a great time to buy. And in fact, itself, right, buy. Okay. So that's why I'm preparing myself to buy from May and June onwards, because I see that the market should be able to get us good levels. And of course, we can just buy to keep. Because at the end of the day, by the time that happened, likely COVID will have ended in a way, okay? And the war will have ended. The earnings result will have came out, which will be pretty bad. And that will drive the price very cheap. And when all these things is that point itself, then the only way that the market will go is up. And that's why I think the bottoming out will come in by then, okay? So if you think that it all makes sense to you, it's all right, just keep the word makes sense for me. If you don't think so, then give me your verdict. And of course, we can discuss on this together, yeah? Okay. Now, let us take a look at the Dow Jones chart in a very interesting technical way, which is from the conventional manner, conventional, yeah? Okay, so again, this is where the Dow Jones at A is where it hits the record high, right? Okay, and recently it came down to this very point, and that is the record, that is the current cycle low. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you now is this is additional add-on. Yeah, just a minute, just take a short picture of this and just show it to you. Okay, all right. Now I want you to take a look at this RSI. This is RSI, and this is at 30, and this is at 70. Okay, 70. Okay. All right. What is showing over here itself, right? That is a common point, which is here. Can you see that? Not necessarily must be precisely the same thing, but that's where it commonly stops around there. Now you notice that, right? There's another one back in December. Okay, got it? Okay. So now let me share something additional for you. Now, this is PTP material, but I don't mind sharing this with you today. Now you notice that this is point number 1, and this point number 2. Now the thing is this: a lot of students been asking me, Kel, how do you know that the market will actually come here and sell off? Okay, remember about 3 weeks ago, I called for a sell off at 35,500. I mentioned that the Dow may go down to 33,222. So that was a 3,000 point sell off, right? So how did I get it? So let me explain to you now how I do it, okay? And you can try on your own on the site. Now, what happened is that when I saw the common point, okay, X and Y, I look up. I realized that number 1 and number 2 shows me that number 2 is lower than number 1. Now, based on my limited but 20 years experience, okay, I know that normally when the market hit a common point like this, X and Y, number 2, if it's lower than number 1, very good chance that when the market recover, it will get to a point whereby it will be resisted and then it will come down. And usually it will come down more than number 2, which you can see now at B, it actually happened. Can you see my point? All right, can you see my point? So that is the first thing that I basically tell myself when the market went back up, okay? Now, everybody take a look here. We'll go all the lines first. This is Y, yeah? Okay, so now if you look at from the chart view from A, okay, to number 2, A to number 2, all right, we have a market rebounding, okay? Now the thing is that because the Fibonacci is stretched from A to B, so the number 2 movement is not actually correct. But nonetheless itself, right, if I were to basically do this now, I'm going to go live right now to show it to you. One, yeah, give me it. One. Oops, hold on. Okay, now if you look at this chart right now, okay, this is the Dow. Hold on, yeah, let me just change my icon. Okay, right, clear out the screen a little bit. Okay, So now this is what you saw here, A to B, to show you the recent Fibonacci. But if I do this now, everybody take a look. If I push this back a little bit to where it was back then at B, okay, and then I stretch it across, that means that I'm using what I saw back then. Can you see now? This is A example, and this is B now, the new one, okay? You notice that the market comes down, and when it rebounded itself, it went to the 61.8, and that was where it basically stopped there. Now, 61.8 is a very powerful Fibonacci number, and if the market couldn't go there, couldn't go past it convincingly, usually the selling will come back in. And truth be told, that's why I call for sell on the Dow Jones recently. Yep. Okay, so you got the idea now? Okay, cool. So with this idea now, if you look back again on the same chart that I just showed you moments ago, you will notice that now I stretch the new one now, which is here, A and B, okay? The market did rebound, but now it's stopping right here perfectly itself at the point 38.2. You know, it didn't even go past 61.8. It didn't, or maybe not yet, yeah? But at this moment now, it seems that the market is kind of resisted at this area. So my view is this, okay? That now, if you look back again, this point here, okay, they are all having a common point, right? And the low of the cycle is getting lower. Agreeable? Yeah. So if that's the case itself, right, anytime, in my perspective, okay, my perspective, that the market cannot go any higher, there is a possibility for the market to dive down the next round. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? I'm not saying that the market will crash tomorrow, but I believe that over the period of time, maybe 2 to 3 weeks time, okay, 2 to 3 weeks, okay, we might be able to see the Dow coming off below 32,000. Yeah, 32,000 could be just only a number. It can go lower. Now, if you understand what I just said in this TA, please key understood right now. If you think that, if you understand what I just said, please key the word understood so that I can see what's the feel now. Okay, wow, there's 60 of you online right now listening to me, and this is only for TWB student. So it means that more and more people are getting ready to listen. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, Rayong, that's very fast of you to reply. Thank you. Nicholas, you understood. Okay, Anthony, Ellison, Ronnie, Yoming. All right, fantastic. Now, of course, on cost, of course, yeah. The thing is this: what if, Cal? What if the market really finds some strength, and if the market go past this point, which is 38.2, right, at 34,000, right? How high will it go again? Yes, it will go easily to this point here. The next number itself is a 50% mark, and that's 34,615. So which means that now currently the Dow Jones now is 33,882. If the market do cross 34,064 convincingly, the market can go to 34,615. So it doesn't mean that, right, the market itself, right, will be going down. If the market can cross past the 38.2, there is a chance to see 34,615, yeah? And please take note of that. Very important information, yeah? Do not take only one side of it. Okay. All right, now because today I'm so busy with so many questions coming in, I have no time to, you know, go through what did I say yesterday. So I'll leave it there itself, but okay, never mind. Let's look at today, the data. Now, today's data, we have the ISM manufacturing PMI. It's going to be at 58. All right, the market is looking at 58 now. The last number 57.6. So they're looking at a better number. So a better number means the economy is doing well. Hence, therefore, that's a good reason why they continue to, you know, increase interest rate. Now, do note, this is really come back to Singapore time, yeah? Do note, yeah, Joe Biden could be speaking in the middle of the night, all right? Joe Biden could be speaking. So there's no time yet, but we expect him to say the same thing, honestly, that there'll be no military from US going in, but they do a lot of sanctions. Yeah, I mean, this have been repeating quite a while already, and I can literally copy the script. Because as long as US, okay, just be mindful that the US stock market will never come off as long as the US soldiers are at home. Now, this is very odd. I mean, it's a safe area. Yes, indeed, US did send some troops down to this Ukraine, but the point is this: as long as there's no casualty from US side, I can tell you this: US will not do anything. this has been proven and proven. So yeah, I mean, I'm not expecting, I don't want a casualty, but as long as none, you don't need to expect the US market to crash down. You don't expect that to happen, yeah? Okay, so now on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, we have the ADP number. Now, interestingly, the last one, it was a negative 301, but this time around, they're looking at a higher number of 350. That means that the employment is increasing quite significantly, right? So that's about 700. So which means that, right, if the number is exactly this number, that means the US economy is doing pretty okay. Employment is back up again. So there'll be no reason why the Dow Jones should be, there's no reason why for the Federal Reserve not to hike rate. So actually, right, no matter what happened tomorrow in terms of data, be it be good, that will give the Federal reason to go ahead. Now, be it be bad, they'll still do it to make sure that inflation itself is kept by the bay. So regardless, whichever, interest rate hike on the 16th of March is 100%. The only thing is this, it's only 25 basis point or 50 basis point. And my personal view is this is still going to be 50 basis point. So after that, it's so interesting at 11 p.m. We have Jerome Powell coming to testify, and this will be the last time we will see him talking in the month of March before he comes to go for the this FOMC meeting. And if that's the case itself, right, this speech itself will be able to give a bit of upside, right, or heads up for this, yeah. And of course, the crude inventories will be coming out at 11:30 p.m. And of course, the numbers is looking at a lower number again, and this may again push the crude oil price slightly higher, yeah. Okay. Now, this is the US stock market yesterday. So you can see there's a very, very tight market. Basically, the range itself was just a 200-point range for most part of the day. Very tiring. Trust me on this. It was only at about 2 a.m. Singapore time. It did dip a little bit for a very short while. And then after that itself, the market came in to pump up again. So it seems that, right, someone just want to make sure that the price stay up. Okay, while majority of the Wall Street traders are kind of confused right now and they rather just exit their position, yeah? Okay, so that's what I view in the market. So I don't know what you see in the market right now, yep. Okay, so Dow Jones fell 170 points, but Nasdaq rallies late for the slight gain as investors monitor Ukraine invasion. Now, of course, there's a lot of same thing again, but the primary idea is this, okay? The volatile session, okay, has created a lot of things happening in the market. And of course, the country is supposed to have a round of negotiation at Belarus, right? But of course, we know the news didn't come out well. I mean, seriously, how can the first meeting be good? If the first meeting can be good, they wouldn't even have war to begin with. So obviously, this meeting will drag for a while, 2 or 3 or 4, and maybe there will be give and take. And finally, one side buckled out, and then after that, you know, things happen. Yep. So we think that will likely be happening. So everything about this is unprecedented, and about the only rational thing to say about equity is to expect volatility to continue pending a resolution. Yes, indeed, there's nothing more can do, right? The war itself is so far away, there's nothing much we can do, so we just have to stick with the current situation. But very interesting is this: Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and cyber security like CrowdStrike, okay, all went up. I mean, I think is I just remember telling you back then itself, right? Lockheed, for example, let me show you the chart, it'll be easier, yeah? Yeah, let me just bring the chart to you, you take a look, yeah? Now, Lockheed Martin is actually a company that deals with weaponry, right? So you can see right now, interesting, yeah? You can take a look. Now, if you look carefully back then in January itself, right, when Lockheed was going, this was because the thing is this: there was an avenue came out, okay, and then after that, not too sure there's any stock split. I don't think so, or there could be one, okay. But whatever it is, end of the day is let me just see what's this guy: dividend given, earnings given, okay. This is dividend given. Okay, so what I'm trying to say is this, back then when Lockheed was climbing from here to here, and that was in January to mid-February. All right, and I was giving my question mark, how come this company is going up on its own? Now, of course, there was a gap in the chart, but that doesn't explain what happened later. So I told my friend, I said, look, if they are buying Lockheed, that means that something is going to happen soon. And truth be told, you can see that things happen. Now, the last 2 days, look at the way Lockheed goes up. It doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, seriously, does it make any sense to you? something is definitely cooking, and I'm not too sure what is it. Okay, and of course, maybe there's a say that Warren Buffett is looking at it itself, so maybe it's possible. All right. Okay, but you look at this counter right now in the long haul, you can see that this counter itself is actually going to break the 2020 high. So from where we are looking at it right now, and what I just shared with you in terms of common point, I kind of believe that, right, we could see a higher number in a short time. Okay, so maybe Lockheed can even go all the way to 450. Okay, so now the last time is for 433. So my view is this 450, it is very possible, yep, for this company Lockheed. So why would they suddenly want to buy into this company? That's a very big question mark, because you see the last 2 days trading volume is increasing and the stock price is going up. So I think that something here itself is not actually that right. So be very careful. Now, Rayong says that not surprising that as LMT supplies the Javelin system that US is giving to Russia, Ukrainian. Okay, understand. I know what you mean. All right. Now, the thing is this, people say that even with the sanction itself, Russia can still sell oil, right? Oh, indeed, you can sell oil. There's so many loopholes. I mean, Bitcoin is one of them. You can do transferring of Bitcoin. That's not too difficult. And of course, now we have Russian military vehicles entering Ukraine's second largest city, Kharkiv, right? Okay, then of course, this is going to happen. Now, of course, the Putin did say within 3 days, the capital will be taken out, but of course, now it's more than 3 days. To me, is that right? Because there's not that much heavy artillery at the moment right now. So I would say that we still have movement to come from that part, yeah. Now, Monday, actually, yesterday marks the final day of trading. And of course, the overall performance is that the Dow is the worst, down 3.5%. And of course, the Nasdaq also down, but not that much. And on top of that itself, right, at the moment now, there are more people looking to sell from the top than buying from the bottom. So this is another issue here we have. So you can see now, this is the VIX chart, yeah, the VIX chart. Now, I mentioned to you the time when the VIX was here and I connected to here. I said that if the VIX was a very simple technique, this is where you should exit, right? And of course, I extended again. I said this is a new one, and so people like people who have VIX, they were bought it and they now have profited. The question is this: when is the VIX going to come down? Right? You may ask. Now, next time VIX will come down, to be very safe, it'll be around 19. Okay, but the problem is this: there's a chance of how high is the chance of it coming down to this point here is another thing. All right, so that's why I'm giving you my view, yeah, on this. All right, let's do some recap on what happened on the Dow Jones last night. Okay, the Dow Jones actually opens right here. Okay, opens right here, and you notice that the opening price, and the MLP is pretty near. So once the market crosses above MLP, it will be a definite buy. Now, of course, when you go to P2, we do expect to get some what they call blockage. But of course, you can see later on, you see how it will develop. Whilst the MA itself, both are negative. So that's why the market likely will not close at the high, which of course, it didn't really done that, but of course, it did see that there was some tilt here. Okay, so let's see what happened in the market. You can take a look right now. As I mentioned to you earlier itself, right? We can try to only enter when it's above the what do you call the market, which is here. That's how I was talking about it, right? Earlier, okay, when it breaks above the opening price and the MLP, yeah. Okay, so over here you can see the market MLP was there. The market ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. But very important is that after here, where the market starts to stabilize, okay, every CCRY, every CCRY, every CCRY, 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 almost all of them shows that, right, you can actually be buying when the market cross over the MLP and the OP of the day. All right, so yesterday was the thing that you can look out for buying for the Dow Jones, yeah? Of course, the Dow Jones really went up all the way past KTR +3 for a short moment before it actually powered in with some selling. And of course, this particular power in is a BNB. You notice that? It is actually a BNB. All right, so BNB came down with CCYR triggering KTR +3. So that's why the market sold down all the way to KTR +1. Now do note, the thing is this, the KSI is red in color, right? So that's why we know that the market, when it goes higher, it'll be a good time to take profit or sell the market. So all these are already there, what you learn from us, okay? All right, how about gold? Wait, sorry. Now gold is another animal altogether. Now gold itself is actually a CCRY today. Today is a CCRY, and of course you can see that what happened is the KSI is green, no blue bar. So by right, the market basically when it opens is above the MA200, MA30, and MLP. So everything is good. It's a buy. But instead of buying, the price came down first, hit the 1896. And of course, this is kind of expected. After that, the market then go up. Yep. So if that's the case itself, right, you can see over here that how do we trade during the day? Okay, so the market ding dong for most of the day. Then after that, the movement came in already. CCYR, single rate, the market pulled back all the way to even here. Now this ended perfectly at KTR -3, but you notice that the MLP is just nearby, right? So the MLP become a strong support, imaginary strong support for the market. You can see on the charts where it stands and stays, where it is resting. So once the market do a CCRY, red to yellow, by right, you can actually do a buy based on the MLP. And of course, what happened? Wow, look at the market itself, right? Went all the way up to this KTR plus, to go to OP level, yeah, in the OP level. So that was from KTR -2 all the way to OP level. Then of course it got stuck again as Zebra came in, and then of course the price came back down. And when it came back down again, you notice the market share still at this KTR -3, stopping there, and then not moving. And of course, straight away you can do a CCRY and then buy towards it. Okay. So that is how you can actually trade with the Dow Jones and the gold yesterday. And you notice that something very incredible is all these lines are all already there. So look at the way it stopped there beautifully and rebounded. Look at the way it congregated there and rebounded. It's as if that you had drawn a trend line yourself. But the problem is this, we didn't draw a single thing, and we give you precise number where the likelihood will be. So it means that, right, even you are like, buying some, you basically choose, but you can actually roughly know which one is a better bet based on what you see on the screen right now. Yep. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Now for today's news is all right. I'm gonna just go and touch and go. Yeah, I'm not gonna go too deep because you can read them through the TWB Market News channel. Yeah. Okay. So Biden administration expands sanction against Russia, cutting off U.S. transaction with the central bank. So by doing that itself, right, it's basically to stop all the assets, okay, all the assets from this Russia to back to this from US to back to Russia. All right. So this is something that you must take note. And of course, you have more. Is that the economic sanction cripple Russian economy as the ruble plunges? Yes, indeed, the ruble plunge. Let me bring to you now how bad the ruble has plunged. Let's take a look. Okay, rubles. You can see right now, right, the ruble continue to fall. Yeah, the ruble continue to fall right now. Okay, all right. The thing is this: in terms of RSI reading, you can see now, right, we are now at the record level. The last time we see something so crazy was back here. Okay, hold on. Oh, there's something wrong with the chart. So on. Okay, here. Okay, that's where it is. So now you notice that what happened. Okay, the market already hit this junction here back then. I'm going to change some colors. Okay, this way it hit a common point, and of course the market was here at about this point. But the market went into free fall in the second half, and of course the buying continued to come in, and that was where the price shoot up. All right, can you see that? Okay, so now the thing is this: we are now interestingly at the same level. Okay, same level. So what do you expect to see? Now, for me itself, right, I believe that this will happen. Okay, I believe this will happen. And I think that it will take a while, but it will recover slowly. Not now, yeah, it will recover a bit, but not now, yeah, it will take a while. And of course, Ukraine is not ready to surrender or capitulate to Russia, according to the foreign minister. All right, of course, they are fighting. That's why Russia thought that within 3 days they can capture, but now the people are defending it, and there is more and more forces around the world coming in to sanction Russia. So now it became a long battle. Yeah, it will take some time on this. So I got a little video that's going viral right now that's showing you the little probability of what is happening right now. Let's take a look at it. It's a short, it's just for fun. Yeah. Okay, let's take a look. All right, let's take a look. So you can see that, right? Ukraine wants to have peace with Russia, but Russia say no. Russia smirk on it, and once they shake hand, all right, what you can see over here is with the rest of the world say, okay, all good, yeah, all is good, and all is good. Everybody, boom, Russia go for it. And then the fight comes in, and of course the whole world, everybody come in, the NATO come in, other countries and pull away, and then of course itself, right, push them all away, and then it cool down. You can see that Kazakhstan being beaten up at the same time. China came in to tell Russia to shut up, and now China got pissed off and punched back Russia. All right, and this is this again. Oh, USA coming in and throw China away. Oh gosh. You do shut up too. So you can see that, right? There's a lot of interesting view on this, and of course, this is actually against China video. I look at it, right? Right, you can see that, and of course, then, okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, India. Okay, anyway, this is just a video. It's just for fun of it. All right, don't take it so serious. But to me, itself, this one really looks like this could create a World War III. Nowhere. All right, just for fun. Don't take it so serious. All right. Okay, if you want to download this and watch it, you can put it on my Facebook later. Yeah. Okay. Right, because of that itself, now Russia suspended from the international soccer over the Ukraine invasion, and you missed the World Cup. All right, so it means that Russian national team will miss the World Cup. Okay, so this is something again. So one country will already be able to get in for free in a way. All right, so some important market information for you for today. All right, so oops, sorry, PowerPoint issue moment. Okay, so Tesla shares actually went up yesterday because they have the German factory will be open in March. Oh, that's good. So the last time when they have another factory, right, you notice that it was China market, right? So straight away Tesla was able to come up with more cars. So now if the Germany factory is ready, right, they expect expectation that this will be good. So again, I say this, it will take a while for it to really start moving and everything. So maybe you can see the impact of this in about this May to June period. So that's why I'm kind of like bullish for Tesla to again in May to June period. Yeah. Okay, take note of that. So let's do a Tesla, a quick one on Tesla. Okay, Tesla, here we go. So you can see that yesterday Tesla actually shot up. Okay. All right, last few days I told you Tesla can buy, and of course it really went up. Now it's actually staying above the moving average, right? That's pretty cool. But you can see that it actually resisted beautifully at my 870 level that I mentioned. All right, so I will say that, right? Just take note of that. 870 is the 877. Sorry, my bad. 877 is actually the level that be careful, and the high of 876. Can you see that? So the thing is this, the high is 876, but my resistance is 877. So the market now is still in a way coming down in terms of momentum. So I suspect that, right, the market may pull back if there's going to be some selling again. All right, back to 805 level. Okay. All right. And of course, now oil price. Now the thing is this, will oil price be going higher? Now let's take a look at oil, because I think that some people have been asking me, Cal, you were spot on crude oil back then. What's your view right now? Now, I've been telling you this, I'm still bullish on crude oil. I repeat, I'm still very bullish on crude oil, and in my opinion, it will still go up again. Now, the last time when it went up, right, because the market started buying since here. And of course, very steadily, the market been moving up. And of course, that day when the crude oil hits $98, $99, that was where we took profit. And because we took profit itself, the price came down beautifully, right? Cool. Okay. So now, if you look back again on this whole thing, you notice that the crude oil stays very strong at $91. Very strong. This is a spot market, by the way. And the thing is this, yesterday, it went up pretty strongly, right? Because of the so-called Swift thingy, and it maintained. So I believe that this time around, this is going to go up. And this time around, I'm going to give a 102 target. Now, when would that be? I think it will happen by, by April, yeah? I believe that we might see 102 by April. Okay, of course, in between from now till April, that's for 1 month plus period. But just to give you a view itself, right, I think by April, we should see 102. And when that happens itself, right, that will likely be, if this thing would happen earlier, if crude oil can go on to 102 earlier before 15th of March, which is that 16th of March is the FOMC, then very high chance that the Federal Reserve will likely pull the trigger to go for 50 basis point. So this is what I view in the market that likely may happen. So let's see how. But again, I've been stressing to you, I'm pretty bullish with the crude oil, and I believe that crude oil should be moving higher in the time to come. Yeah. So watch out for crude oil. This is what I see in the market. Okay. All right. Okay. On, yeah. Okay. Oops, sorry. Again, PowerPoint slight issue. Moment. Okay. Now, Santoli is one of the CNBC correspondent. He updated us with some stuff here as well. He said that the US equity market tentatively passed another smaller test as buyers emerged overnight, okay, coming in, and that created a potential double bottom. Okay, so now he said that there's double bottom here. I can't see how I look at it, but it doesn't matter. So he says that, right, it could be a touch and go thingy. The market could still be going up or come down, yeah, up or down. So it's going to be a touch and go thingy. And of course, the whole support now is at 4,100 to 4,400 level. All right. Now, the thing is this, I was sharing some people here itself, right, regarding what I'm seeing from the chart view, that I tell them to look at VIX, okay, look at VIX. Now, because the yield, in my opinion itself, right, it actually will slightly be moving up soon. I believe the yield is going to go up soon. And because of that, you can see that now that the bid in Treasury has been strong relatively last global episode, last 15 years. Okay, Federal Reserve is still remaining in a tightening mode. And of course, the market itself has drained out the 50 basis point and they are in favor of the quarter point hike. Okay, so my thing is this, the market expect quarter hike, but I just got this feeling that the Federal Reserve may go for 50 basis point instead. So oil is up, but not making new high. According to this guy, he says that it's still going to be priced in. I don't think so. I believe that this oil will go higher, I just told you. And I believe that, right, this yield will also go higher. All right, and if I look at the bond market now, you can see this very, very clear, yeah. Right, earlier I already told you about the US 10-year, and you can see that the yields is coming down a little bit, but it's still holding around this area here. So I believe that another round will be there, one more round. All right, but more important thing is this is the VIX that I'm going to tell you now, the VIX. You can see that the VIX is really doing okay, and if the VIX continue to stay up, VIX has a chance to go up to 40 or even more at 44. Okay, so that is what I see for VIX, and of course, to me, it's buying some VIX now plays a very important role, especially over the weekend. It may not be the best hedge, but it's one of the good things to take note of. Okay. All right. So with that, let's take a look on the next one, which is this one. I think that a lot of you are going to be very happy with this one. Yeah. Let me just do this. Now, you know that I do follow this guy called Tom Lee, and Tom Lee is actually very bullish. Now, Fundstrat Tom Lee says that the market may have reached a bottom for the first half of 2022. Now, he did say January to June, there will be a market coming off and there will be a bottom out. But this time around, him seemingly is quite early by saying that, okay, the bottom is already here. So according to Tom Lee, he says that there is the escalation over the weekend, more negative, potentially raises odds of the first half low. So in his opinion itself, right, he felt that, right, the market, okay, has posted solid gains on Thursday and Friday, and this positive incremental surprises over the weekend is actually from the response from the European alliance. So which means that to him itself, the market has bottomed out and there should be time to buy. Now, of course, again, I follow Tom Lee quite a fair bit. and undeniable this time around. I'm going to say no to him. I think that the market has temporary bottom out for this cycle, but I believe in about 2 to 3 weeks time there will be a new low, a new cycle again. Yeah, that is my personal opinion. But of course, you can take on this position and go long in the market. Now, the other guy who's also calling for long, let me just bring in again. Sorry, my bad, guys. I really have no time to do my PowerPoint at times sometimes. Okay, the worst may be over, say JP Morgan Kolanovic. Now, this guy is saying that the Ukraine-Russia crisis will continue to produce market volatility, but the direct impact on corporate earnings is small, which I agree. Indirect risks are more substantial given effects of the higher commodity prices on inflation, growth, and consumer. That is true. However, because the silver lining is that they expect the crisis to force a dovish reassessment of the Federal Reserve. Now, this one I totally disagree. I don't think so, not now. So the thing is this guy definitely is married. Okay, let me just hold on, give me a minute. Okay, this guy definitely is married. Who is he? He is one of the few Wall Street guys who correctly predicted a much low or bottom in 2020. All right, he is that good, so-called. So that's why if you listen to him, he's telling you to buy right now, so you can consider it. But for me, so I rather wait. Okay. Now this guy is a doctorate in theoretical physics. Okay, and known for using alternative and quantitative data to predict stock market up and down, which of course I'm also using that. So let's see how we go from there. But from my point of view is that I still think that the market now is a good time to come in together. Okay, the combine of the countries together to prepare for this, because you don't want to be fighting individually, right? So, but again, on this, back then in January, Marco says that the market is a good time to buy, but January the stock plunged quite badly, and he also said that he's going to be pounding stable for stocks. So this one we will let you have it later on, yeah. But still, end of the day, he has his own downside. So of course, when the market has downside, they don't really cover for these people. To them, it's just brush it off and give you a new verdict once again. Yep. Okay. All right. So there's a couple of alternate market news for you to take a look. I want you to take a look right now. Now, first of all, you can see that the equity market traded chaotically, but interesting that after 55 days from the all-time high that happened recently, the market haven't come down yet. Now, usually by the 55 days after record high, usually back in 1987 and 1992, the stock market crashed off. But this time around, we're not even near that. Is it because we have time delay or just because that this is going to be different? So you make your choice here, yeah? So here you can see a very interesting pattern whereby after 55 days, the both market, whether it's in 1927 or 1987, 1929 and in 1987, it seems that they followed, but not now. This one is still hanging on there. So, okay, so the first one, that's the first alternative market news for you to think about it. The second one is that very interesting, the forward euro-dollar spread. Now, apparently it's not right. The euro-dollar spread is actually informing us that there's a 60% chance now of a rate cut in 2024. Now, we haven't even raised interest rate yet and the interest rate cut. But the thing is, that means that the market is really preparing for the interest rate to go up. So that's why, in my opinion, this is going to be very interesting. And that's why I'm quite bullish in gold and bullish in the US dollar, because if that's the case itself, US dollar will come in to save the day. And when that happens, commodity prices will go up again as usual. Yeah. Now, the last but not least, this is a very important chart. The best news in February itself, COVID cases have collapsed. So you can see on the USA, the collapse is really ridiculous. Yeah, what a number. Now, if you remember what I say about what Tom Lee has mentioned, whenever the market bottom out, it's about 3 to 4 months before you can, see the stock market going reporting. So which means that now by this about now you can see that about 2 months, 3 months time, 2 to 3 months time from where it is, that's January. So that means by April to latest May, we will see a bottoming out in the market. Okay. So this is what I remember. So guys, you can double check on this, but if that's the case itself, that means that whatever I mentioned and the seasonal pattern and the COVID chart, everything looks pretty in line. Yep. Okay. All right. So with that itself, let's go to the chart. The bull goes smooth, the mare goes grrr, and the lemming go is different this time. Let's go. Now, this is a China chart. As I told you before, China chart, the market basically beautifully yesterday touches my number 14,542. Once it touches the beautiful spot, immediately it rebounded. And now you can see China is actually hovering, trying not to go to this MA. And this MA itself, let's take a look. Okay. Right here. Okay. Okay, there's about 14938. Okay, 14938 level. So 938. So which means that now if the China market cannot go past 14,938, likely there will be a pullback again in the later stage, yeah, but not now, but later stage. Okay. All right, let's look at the US market. Now, US market is still pretty flat this morning. Right, a bit different from yesterday. Let me explain this to you. The US market now, the opening price is between the pivot 1 and pivot 2. The terrains are negative. The MLP is positive. So that means this market is having two sides of the coin. Hence, therefore, you expect the market to go sideways for the most part of today, which is actually happening right now. Now, the KSI is red in color and it's uptick. That means that, right, based on the yesterday's KSI to read today's market, you say KSI is higher or taller than the day before, which is here. So if the day, this one is the uptick, right? The one previously must be a shorter one, okay? All right, so from this view itself, right, what can we see? Nothing much, honestly. If the market stays all OP, right, definitely it should be able to challenge this, and that's 34,375, okay? MA30. Now, if the market chose the other way around, the downside will be this MLP, 33,660. All right, that is the MLP. All right, watch out for that. So 36,600. Do watch out for that. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so what for this? And let's look at the Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq is a bit different. Nasdaq itself is trying to stay above the BNB RL, and if it goes up past 14,301, the Nasdaq can have a chance to go all the way back to 14,000 level. Yeah. Okay. Now the downside will be here 14,072. That means that if we do well, then of course we can have something here itself. Okay, but 14,072 would be the level to watch out for today. All right, for the Nasdaq. Okay. Yeah. All right, now from the look at the market, it's seeming very, very slow movement today. Yeah, so it seems that today may take some time to see any result. S&P 500. Now, S&P 500 also is the same thing, negative terrain, but positive MLP. So CCRY can buy, but fast in, fast out. Now, the thing is this, I realized that, right, it seems that, right, the okay, never mind, just leave it alone. It's okay. To go to that to create unnecessary trouble. Okay, for S&P 500, as I mentioned again, the KSI is green in color, it's uptick, so that's why the downside will be limited. If the downtick really comes in, I think it will stop here itself at 43.24. I think that will be the level to watch out for. Although 43.17 is a very important MLP to watch. Now, if the market breaks MLP, then the selling will really come in. Yeah. So at the moment now, I think that 43.24 would be the strong support for time being. Okay. All right, let's go back to Hang Seng. Earlier, we talked about that. Okay, now Hang Seng this morning is an Omega. What's Omega? Omega means that the opening price and the high is the same, exactly the same, or the low and the opening price is exactly the same. So of course, Omega is only reflected on TWB BTP students platform. Yeah, let me show it to you now. Now this is Hang Seng, right? Okay, if I bring Hang Seng over, you will notice that Hang Seng has a Omega sign on top of it. Yeah, Omega sign. Now this Omega sign informs us that, right, the market itself will be at the first in, first out. And once the market opens, there's only one thing to do. If it opens, it's below, once it opens, the opening price and the high is exactly the same. Straight away, go for short. If it's the other way around, then go for buy. Now the thing is this, because the KSI is red in color and the KRW is actually rising up itself, all this tells me that this is going to be very dangerous. So that's the reason why I want you to know that if the market do continue to sell, right, tell your whoever it is, right, 22,669 is a very critical level. If the market still cannot go past, I mean, if the market goes below this figure, then do expect things to happen. Yep. Okay. All right. So this is Omega sign. All right, and this is what's happening right now. Okay. All right. So this Hang Seng, and that's now Nikkei. Oh, sorry, wrong slide. Right, Nikkei is still moving higher this morning. Nikkei at the moment now, after it hit the bottom, very strong, determined, is going to go up, and it went all the way up. It crossed is above what is above MLP, and right, so the market opens here. So we know that next number it will go with this one, the midpoint of this, and that's 26,941 already been triggered. So the next level it may challenge will be the pivot 1, and that's 27,184. Okay, 184, yeah. So this is something to watch out for the Nikkei. Okay. All right, so we have seen DAX movement yesterday. Take a look. Oops, sorry. Look at DAX. Now, look at DAX yesterday, right? DAX actually gapped down, as I mentioned to you. It gapped down, and then when it goes up itself, you notice what happened, right? It went up towards the first target, that's pivot 2, and that's 14,331. And after that, it went next level, right? The next level is on the screen, is MLP. And incredibly, once it hit MLP, it couldn't go up higher, and instead it pulled back. Why? The boys are selling still, the KSI is still red. So with all these things can tell you that, right, when you're trading the market, you just need to look at all the technical point that's on your screen and just have to follow through. That means that if you see it breaks a technical point, you want to be going higher or going lower, then you have to get used to this, okay? All right, so let's take a look on the DAX. Okay, so what happened on DAX? It opens already, and then it went all the way up, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Okay, so at this junction here, that's why people ask me, what's my view? And I did say that, right, from what I'm seeing right here, right now, I think that, right, if the market is to break above the P2, which is here, color change, it will go higher. And of course, it went up. And of course, the thing is the price itself, just you know, say that it could be MLP. And true, we thought the market touches MLP, followed by a CCYR, the market collapse again. Now, don't forget the stuff, right? When you do something like this, make sure the terrain is with you, make sure the trend is with you, then you do such a trade, right? So for me, we know that DAX is coming down the last few weeks. So that's why when the market go out to MLP, we can actually look to short the market. Yep. All right, so that is the DAX for us. Okay, let's look at crude oil. I already talked about crude oil earlier already. Yeah. All right, so crude oil has already hit our BNB target of $98. So there's nowhere I can see it going higher unless we look at KCB. But you can see that in KCB also don't have, right? Okay, so now the thing is this. Let me just double check. They're turning on. Yeah, all is good. Okay. All right, so now what happened? So now it's just only pure guessing game. Okay, guess how high will this market be going? And I have given to you the number that I gave was 102. Okay, the number I gave 102, but on one condition is that, right, once the market hit this point here, all right, if the market do go to 98, to let me know. Then after that, what we do is that we actually, take some partial profit. Yeah, although the BNB 1x1, the impact is no longer there, but still, if the price goes to $98, I'll take some profit first. Okay. All right, so with all these things itself, let's look at the gold price. Now, gold today is a CCRY on a day chart. Yeah, gold is a CCRY on a day chart. CCRY means color change from red to yellow on a day chart, which means you can enter the buy when it goes above OP, and a stop loss can be placed here because it's pretty near and it's good enough. All right, now the target itself, right, is to go past 1812, and of course, if you can, go to this point here itself. Okay, that is around. What is the number there? Okay, can't really see the number there, but definitely for sure, if the market do up itself, right, it will go up, it will cross past pivot 2 at 1908, and if cross pivot 2, now do note today is an inverse pivot for the gold, yeah. Inverse pivot means that, right, the market, the law of attraction will be very strong this way. So which means that now if the market can't stay above P2, it will be rejected and come down very strongly because of this T2 effect. But if the market can break past the P2 and also pivot 2, right, that means that, right, the market will be able to go up much stronger. Yeah. All right, so watch out for this. The MLP is 1912. The pivot 2 is 1908. So which means, simply put, if the market can go past 1908 and 1912, very high chance the market will be able to go higher. And the next number we're looking at is 1954. Okay, all right, so that is gold. And of course, for gold itself, the KSI is very green in color, no blue bars, right? So very quietly it's coming in, and that's where I believe that it's going for the final one. Yep. All right, then look at silver. Now silver yesterday pulled back, but the strong hand came in again. Now for silver, the BNB is $34.48, and we're somewhere near here. Okay, so if the market now touches P2 and you think it's going to move, they're going to buy, you can buy up yourself. Because now you can see that, right? The problem is this is still pretty early from my. Okay, you can see over here the market P2 is an inverse pivot also. So which means that if the market cannot see any strength, it will pull down very, very fast. Okay, it will pull down very fast. Okay, it stays above MLP. Now, if we come back, you may go to 23.69, bang around before going up again. It's possible, but I think that the white color line will be more accurate. Okay, so with all these things itself, right, let's look at Bitcoin right now. Now, Bitcoin has become the utility coin for this war. All right, apparently there are more donations using this coin. There's more money going to different countries in this coin. And of course, the KCX already blinked somewhere on the 21st of February. So logically speaking, yesterday when the market do a CCRY, just like gold chart itself, it should be a buy, and indeed it went up. You went to 44,000, you already stopped there for a moment, all right, because you know, that's definitely you cannot steal the thunder, right? So for Bitcoin, I believe that you'll go back up again to this 44,000 first. If it stays above 44,000, the next target itself will be as crazy as 46,200, yeah. So at the moment now, we will wait for a while. Right, we'll see how it goes for this Bitcoin. I believe that there'll be more upside because of the current situation now. We'll need to have the Bitcoin for transaction. Yeah. Okay, Ethereum is obviously following gold and following this Bitcoin, and now it has also break up pivot 1. So broke pivot 1 above OP and supported by MA30, and also have MLP and MA supporting. So overall looks good for this Ethereum, right? So Ethereum, there's a high chance it may be going to 31, 39 level. That's about $200 from here. So I suspect that this will happen. So if you want, let me know, right? The only thing that's happening now is the MA200 that is actually on top, but overall more upside than downside, okay? So that is why I think the market will be going up for these two cryptocurrencies. All right, so to just before you go, allow me to show you something very, very important. Very important. It's only for students only. Just give me a short moment. Let me bring on the chart. Okay, guys, take a look. Now, this is the KFC chart for the Dow Jones. Yeah. So you can see now very clearly we have a very strong resistance now at this particular price called 34.0. Okay. 34.090. So which means that, right, this number 34.090 will be a very instrumental technical level. If the market blasts past this, there'll be a lot of upside all the way even to 35.191. Yeah, that one I can join you guys. All right, but if the market breaks down, then of course the market may sell down all the way to 33,104. Okay, now the KSI is still very red, and the KRW have been red for the longest a while. It means that months ago I already know that likely there's some problem here itself. But now at the moment now there's no hindsight, can't tell you anything. So I can tell you this is that if the gold come down, the Dow come down, we can see it coming down to 33,104. If the market goes up instead, then you see 35,191. Okay. All right, so that will be all for today. Thank you very much for today. If those are coming on the way to Trade Live session, I'll see you in about 1 hour's time. Remember, at 2 p.m. we will have our revision again. Okay, we have a revision. So watch out for that. Okay, bye-bye.